So, this week we're going to talk about weather forecasting. You've learned a lot in this course about a lot of the basics of weather forecasting. So, let's see if we can put a little forecast together for Ohio for the next few days. And for that part of the country. So we want to go right now and look at what is going on there first. Well, we have a cold front that's moved through. We can see it's east of Ohio right now. There's a weak little low down over the Carolinas moving along it. And there's much stronger low pressure up here. So with that, we can see we also have winds coming off the Great Lakes. So we're looking at things here, and we're observing that we have winds coming off the Great Lakes. We have low pressure to our north, probably cold air coming behind the low. And just looking at temperatures, we're seeing a lot of 30s out here. Some below freezing, even in the 20s further west. So it's fairly cold air mass, typical fall air mass. So how's it going to evolve in the next day or two? What's going to change in this pattern? If I were looked at this right now, I would be thinking about lake effect snow because winds are probably going to be coming off the Great Lakes something into Ohio. But I want to look a little bit up. I want to see what's going on in the upper levels of the atmosphere as well. So I know at the surface we have this. Upper level atmosphere right now really has a strong trough, a deep trough over the eastern part of the United States. Well, that means there's a lot of cold air here. We have jet streaks. We have another one out here coming across and into this. It's just like there's a Rossby wave right here. One jet streak now coming up the east coast of the United States, another one coming in from the west, probably will dip down into this trough. And the trough will gradually evolve with time. But for right now, it's sitting across Ohio. Now, if I were to look at the satellite images at this time, I'm seeing an awful lot of clouds back here. Why am I seeing so many clouds? Well, I'm seeing them, look at them. They're forming over the Great Lakes. You can actually see the western side of Lake Michigan, the northern part of Lake Erie. All of them are relatively dry, so they're pushing clouds into your area, into parts of Ohio right now. So this is lake effect, what's going on currently. So looking at that, why might we have lake effect? Well, let's take a look at Detroit sounding. It's fairly moist from the lakes. At the low levels, winds are coming out of the west-northwest at that level. And it's cold. Everything's below freezing, except for right at the surface. So if you have precipitation in this cloud, there's probably going to be snow falling. So that's one thing. The other part, and if it's not going to be snow, it's going to be because it warmed up at the low levels and temperatures got above freezing enough to melt the snow as it's getting close to the ground. So that's just what we observe by looking at the weather right now. So what is going to happen with this pattern? How's it going to change? Well, this is a surface image, higher resolution model, and this is looking at Sunday evening. There's another cold front. That jet we saw to the west is coming in, creating another low over the Great Lakes. It looks like it's almost stationary there. Temperatures at 850 millibars are running about -6 degrees Celsius. So all of this is leading us to the idea that we're going to have continued lake effect. Matter of fact, look at this wind coming down Lake Michigan into Indiana and Illinois there. If I saw that, I'm expecting pretty good amounts of snow, maybe at South Bend, North Dakota, South Bend and all coming into this area, because that's where it typically flows into. And some of that's going to get into Ohio as well. So there's going to be lake effect snow showers here and all. But let's just take a peek back at this sounding. We saw it was -6 at 850. Well, currently it's, maybe not quite even that. So it's actually going to be getting colder here means the temperature is going to be harder to rise. We know it can only go up 9.8 degrees, even if it's dry, and it's not. So it's going to only warm maybe 6 degrees Celsius per 1,000 meter. So we wind up with it being fairly cold all the way up here. So looking at all of that, this is what the Weather Prediction Center, and they are at College Park, Maryland, and they are forecasting for day 1 kind of a lake effect snow. By day 2, they have the low coming that we were looking at, except they have a little bit further west, but it might be a little further east because I was looking a little later, coming across, which is going to create more lake effect snow, bringing snow into Ohio again from that, and eventually moving out by Monday evening as that low moves by. Finally, I just want to look at temperatures quick, and there are statistical forecasts that help to make temperatures. And you can see here high temperatures in the low 30s across much of Ohio. And then you can even see colder temperatures up here coming down. Only in the 25 to 35 degree range, it looks like, up in here. And this is the temperatures at the maximum time of day. So, and you can see here there's the cold front, and look how much warmer I am. I have temperatures in the 50s. So again, winds coming down the mountain on the east side of it have warmed my temperatures up some. Bare ground as well. So everything you're learning here is being applied to trying to give you a forecast for what it's going to do in Ohio, and we're looking at some scattered showers, probably snow showers. High temperatures do get into the at least mid-30s, so you're probably melting a lot of the snow. So all of this, what you have learned about that very cold, notice it's low at the surface, but it even gets colder aloft, so it's an extratropical low. Everything you've learned and be applied into the next couple days forecast for Ohio. So that's really the ultimate essence of this course, is trying to give you some idea of what goes into forecasting the weather here. So I hope you got something out of that. Let me know if you have any questions.